Hey guys, how you doing? I'm taking a quick break today from my 12 Records I Love series. I'm going to do something on the Bethlehem singers, the Voices of Bethlehem. I've talked about the two facets of Bethlehem. The East Coast, Oscar Pettiford, modern, mid-tempo jazz. And there was a second part, the fiery West Coast, modern hard bop white cats. And those records are outstanding. But there was a third chapter to what Bethlehem was about. And I think they're all very different facets of Bethlehem. And I don't think they were moving in unison. And I think in some ways, some of the success Bethlehem had with the singers limits the number of recordings they do with the players. And in 54, 55, 56, the singers haven't really come to the fore with the exception of Chris Connor, who, of course, I talk about in the BCP, in the 10-inch series, the 1000 series. I talk about how she was the launching, driving force with Creed Taylor and WIldi making Bethlehem happen, switching from a kind of an unknown pop entity to an up-and-coming jazz label. Her 10-inch stuff gets reissued. I'll show you the 10 inches again, just to be completist. But she has a number of recordings here. That's a reissue of an earlier one. You gotta love her, you know. She's got some of Billie Holiday's angst, even coming from a white gal. But when a singer's great, you kind of forget their race. Almost more so for me than a player, because a player, race is helping me tell you what they're emoting. Race is a factor in a guy without words and helping me understand where he's coming from. With voices, with words, you're singing someone else's story, and at best you're trying to make it your own, like Armstrong could do, like Ella could do, like Billy could do. And she's great at doing that. She has a way to really make a song feel like she's singing from her experience. I gotta show you that. This is a nice stitched Rick Barry Warriors jersey from the 70s. This is a collection, Julie London, Carmen McRae, and Chris Connor. They're each given 4 songs, I believe. Yeah, this is Chris singing Lush Life, of course. The other really important singer here at Bethlehem was Nina Simone. And after Chris Connor leaves, they're kind of scrambling, looking for that next voice. Nina Simone can carry a song without accompaniment. Obviously from the same photo shoot, Central Park. She's a haunting singer. It always feels a bit gallows pole. There's sorrow. and what her eyes have seen. And I think that's some of the tale of Black America, is there's sorrow in what my eyes have seen. We're covering the girls first. We're going to cover the guys next. Carmen McRae. You saw this in the 10-inch series, but I would be amiss to not bring it back and show you this. Great cover. It's way before Mick Jagger. Carmen's a great singer. Nice clean emoter. She enunciates her words very clear. Not quite the sorrow of a Nina Simone. She's a bit more by the fireplace in a place of safety. And sometimes we need that safety as well. We can't always be in danger. I think Bethlehem caught themselves between two worlds. And obviously underlying all record labels is the desire to make money. And I think as the Mel Tormes and the Chris Connors and the Nina Simones, those artists were leading in sales. And there's a real temptation to kind of abandon other things and go just that direction, which they didn't do, but by 58, 59, they're introducing so many singers. This right now here is Frances Faye. She has a third record here. I like this album cover quite a lot. She's a bit more showroom to me, Frances Faye. But the records are out there and I love her. A record I love dearly. gal that's a real tart. Peggy Connolly. What a fun record cover that is. All mod. This is with the Russ Garcia Orchestra, I believe. Yeah, the Wigville Band. And the Wigville Band with Russ Garcia, there are no slouches here. Charlie Mariano, Bill Holman, Jimmy Joffrey, Pete Candoli, Stu Williamson, Max Bennett, Stan Levy. It's pretty much that West Coast crew with a singer. And of course, they're gonna reshape their playing for the occasion. But man, when they do get their little fills in, there's some talent there. Great album cover. This to me is the epitome of Bethlehem at this point. It's if you drive a Vespa, you better have that record. What else can I say? If you drive a Vespa, you need to have that record. Got it? If you got a beret anywhere in that closet, you're a man with a fur coat. Helen Carr. Again, she records those West Coast boys. The 10-inch, which I covered in the 1000 10-inch series. I think it's in part 3. Talk about that more there. Play it there. But here's again a great album cover. This is what Bethlehem kind of is doing in the late 50s. Red Mitchell, Howard Roberts, and Cappy Lewis on the trumpet. Attitude, personality, pain, sorrow. A record that will also cost you $50 to $100 for a decent copy. But my Saturday brunch gigs are littered with these songs. One of the fun things about collecting Bethlehem is once you start digging into it, you'll want a lot of it. But you'll also be one of the few people looking for it. So whether you're shopping in the wild or online, you're not going to be competing with a ton of other buyers. And so there's always room to negotiate, because a lot of times a seller will have some of these records listed at $85. But because there's so few people who know about this stuff, they might sit there for 6 months. And not to give away all my secrets, but if you see a record and it's still listed a few months later, make an offer on it. Make an offer on it. They want the 85, but they know that's what they want. What they'll take is often dependent on how much traffic they get, which their subscribers, followers will tell you some of that. If they got 75 people watching records, they probably ain't gonna give you a whole lot of flex. But if they only have a few followers and the record's been listed a long time, they might only have $20 into it, and they might want the 85, but they'll probably take 60. They might nibble at 50. You know, I mean, it never hurts to ask them. Sorry, sellers out there, I'm not supposed to be doing all that, I guess, but this music needs to be in the homes of people who are listening to it, not just sitting in a box waiting for someone to buy it. Terry Morell, another beautiful album cover. Look at that, just gorgeous. Ralph Sharon's on the piano, Herbie Mann's on the flute, Christy Febo's on the drums, Jay Cave on the bass. I think this is a New York recording. Covered by Burt Goldblatt. Rudy Van Gelder engineered this session. I don't see his name on too many of these Bethlehem records, but another beautiful singer that you've probably never heard of that if they were on Blue Note or on Prestige or on Verve, we'd all be collecting.
Look at yourself.
Audrey Morris.
You would laugh to be the man.
She's a bit like Peggy Lee. She's flirty. She's tart.
Look at yourself. Do you still believe in romance?
She's
That romance is simply grand.
like she's leaning in. She wants that smooch.
Since you took it right on the chin, you have lost.
So it's a pretty prolific grouping of singers. The great Marty Peisch is leading this conduction. Stu Williamson. Wow, there's some great musicians
I
there.
sit around and sadly.
So another one of those great Bethlehem singers that people don't really know about. This is the last one I found. Just played it the other day.
So here I am.
Betty Blake. Japanese pressing. I couldn't find an American one for anything I could afford. Zoot Sims, Roland Alexander, Teddy Charles, Kenny Burrell, Mal Waldron, Addison Farmer, Ed Shaughnessy, Charlie Persip. A lot of great musicians participated in these recordings. She's tender, she's gentle. It feels like there's a lot of... You put thought into what these words meant before you say them. So you could step into the shape and the form of the words so you can emote them properly. I love this record. It's beautiful. You can see that in spite of the names and them not being familiar, there's a lot of stuff that's really fantastic. This is probably the schmaltziest of the bunch. Jerry Winters. It seems more linked to Broadway show tunes than most of the other ones. It's still got some great musicians on it. It's BCP 76, so it's late in that first series. Ray Brown's on the bass. It's amazing. Ray Brown shows up everywhere. Probably the softest of the bunch. You know, she's singing more as a white gal than as a sister. Still, it was fun. So I'm going to do another episode now on the male singers of Bethlehem, just to make this a little shorter. So again, subscribe to my channel. Check out the Jazz Vinyl Club on Facebook. I appreciate you all for watching. Your support means the world to me. A lot of your feedback and compliments have been so edifying. It's great to know that people find me someone that is approachable, and that people have been commenting that they feel like I'm a good teacher. I don't really know how to put that back into words, but that's a great feeling for me, to feel like I'm communicating and getting across. And I think some of that's my passion, some of that's my love. When you genuinely love someone, that transcends into how you speak about it. And so I just appreciate all you guys, all the things you had to say. It's been a really good experience for me, and I'm glad I'm finding an outlet for a lot of the things that I've learned. You know, that's an important thing, is when you have knowledge and you have grasped things, it's nice to have a place to share that, a platform. So again, Jazz Shepherd out. Check in on the mail. Voices of Bethlehem coming up soon. Peace.